जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदा यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदा यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरा वनचारि यमुनतीरा जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी गोपीजन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदा यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरा वनचारि यमुनतीरा जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome you all for today's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. So today we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, second canto, chapter 9, text number 43. तुष्टं निशाम्य पितरं लोकानां परिपितामहं देवर्षिः परिप्रच्छः भवान् यत् मा अनुप्रच्छति तुष्टं निशाम्य पितरं तुष्टं निशाम्य पितरं लोकानां परिपितामहम् लोकानां परिपितामहम् sorry prapitamaham I'm reading it wrongly lokanam prapitamaham devarshi pariprachah devarshi pariprachah Bhavanyan manuprucchati Bhavanyan manuprucchati Tushtam nishamya pitaram Lokanam prapitamaham Devarshi pariprachaha Bhavanyam manuprucchati. Please recite. Tushtam nishamya pitaram Lokanam prapitamaham Devarshi paripapracha Bhavanyan manuprucchati Tushtam nishamya pitaram Lokanam paripritamaham Devarshi pariprapracha Bhavanyan manuprucchati. Matajis. Tushtam, satisfied. Nishamya, after seeing. Pitaram, the father. Lokanam, of the whole universe. Paripitamaham, Prapitamaham, the great grandfather. Devarshihi, the great sage Narada. Paripapracha, inquired. Bhavan, yourself. Yet, as it is. Ma, from me. Anuprucchati, inquiring. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. The great sage Narada also inquired in detail from his father, Brahma, the great grandfather of all the universe. After seeing him well satisfied. Please repeat. The great sage Narada also inquired in detail from his father, Brahma, the great grandfather of all the universe. After seeing him well satisfied. Purport. The process of understanding spiritual or transcendental knowledge from the realized person is not exactly like asking an ordinary question from the schoolmaster. The schoolmasters in the modern days are paid agents for giving some information. But the spiritual master is not a paid agent, nor can he impart instructions without being authorized. In the Bhagavad Gita 4.34, the process of understanding the transcendental knowledge is directed as follows. Tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadakshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Arjuna was advised to receive transcendental knowledge from the realized person by surrender, question and service. Receiving transcendental knowledge is not like exchanging dollars. Such knowledge has to be received by service to the spiritual master. As Brahmaji received the knowledge directly from the Lord by satisfying him fully, similarly, one has to receive the transcendental knowledge from the spiritual master by satisfying him. The spiritual master's satisfaction is a means of assimilating transcendental knowledge. One cannot understand transcendental knowledge simply by becoming a grammarian. And the Vedas declare, Svetashvatara Upanishad 6.23, Yasya deva para bhaktiriyata deve tata gurau tasyaite katitarartha prakashante mahatmanah. Only unto one who has unflinching devotion to the Lord and to the spiritual master does transcendental knowledge become automatically revealed. Such relationship between the disciple and the spiritual master is eternal. One who is now the disciple is the next spiritual master, and one cannot be a bona fide and authorized spiritual master unless one has been strictly obedient to his spiritual master. Brahmaji, as a disciple of the Supreme Lord, received the real knowledge and imparted it to his dear disciple Narada. And similarly, Narada, as spiritual master, handed over this knowledge to Vyasa and so on. Therefore, the so-called formal spiritual master and disciple are not facsimiles of Brahma and Narada or Narada and Vyasa. The relationship between Brahma and Narada is reality, while the so-called formality is the relation between the cheater and cheated. It is clearly mentioned herewith that Narada is not only well-behaved, meek and obedient, but also self-controlled. One who is not self-controlled, specifically in sex life, can become neither a disciple nor a spiritual master. One must have disciplinary training in controlling speaking, anger and tongue, the mind, the belly and the genitals. One who has controlled the particular senses mentioned above is called a Goswami. Without becoming a Goswami, one can become neither a disciple nor a spiritual master. The so-called spiritual master without sense control is certainly the cheater, and the disciple of such a so-called spiritual master is the cheated. One should not think of Brahmaji as a dead great-grandfather, as we have experienced on this planet. He is the oldest great-grandfather, and he is still living, and Narada is also living. The age of the inhabitants of the Brahmaloka planet is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. The inhabitants of this small planet, Earth, can hardly calculate even the duration of one day of Brahma. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahim Dadade Svadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamshta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminti Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhishta Kripa Sindhavya Vachapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratvishaya Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Muhammande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vikas Swamiti Namne Hare Krishna Tushtam Nishamya Pitaram Lokanam Prapitamaham Devarshi Paripapracha Bhavanyan Manu Prachati. Translation once again. The great sage Narada also inquired in detail from his father Brahma, the great grandfather of all the universes. After seeing him well satisfied, Hare Krishna. So, here, after Narada's conversation with Brahma, so Brahma was fully satisfied. Brahma is here said as Prapitamaha, the great grandfather. So Srila Prabhupada here says that it's not like our great grandfather who is dead, is no more. But Brahma is there living. His lifespan is unimaginable. As Srila Prabhupada writes, it's hardly this small planet Earth can hardly calculate even the duration of one day of Brahma. So the main point is that Brahma was fully satisfied by the attitude of Narada because of his meekness and because of his, as it is mentioned, that Narada's qualities are mentioned here, that well behaved, meek and obedient. So this is the qualification of a disciple. Disciple is well behaved. Meek means how to sorry, humble. Meek and humble we say now. So he's meek, humble. Humble is not like displayed humility. He is there really humble, really real humility is displayed in front of the Guru. But I am an ignorant. Before starting the prayer for the spiritual master, is that Om Ajnanati Mirandasya, that I am born in the darkness of ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes by the transcendent, opening my eyes by giving the transcendental knowledge. Hare Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that process of understanding the spiritual or transcendental knowledge from the realized person is not exactly like asking a question, ordinary question from a schoolmaster. There is a lot of difference, right? When we ask a question to a schoolmaster, because he is getting some money, so that's why he is answering us. Otherwise, why he will answer? And the question also, the person who is asking the question itself, and the schoolmaster will say everything, everyone have their inner motive. But because the schoolmaster in the modern days are paid agents, giving some information, but the spiritual master is not a paid agent. But the spiritual master is not like that. Some people, generally in the general mass of people, they go to the gurus, so-called gurus, and they're actually demanded to pay them to meet them, or to see them, at least to get an appointment. They have to get some give some money to go and meet them. Or it is like give and take business, guru and disciple. But a spiritual master is not like that. Spiritual master, out of mercy to the disciple, but first he sees the qualification, as it is mentioned here. Tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadakshanti te gnanam gnaninas tattvadarshina. So one should approach a spiritual master with pranipatena, we have to offer him all homage, all respects, and submissively hear from him. And we have to render some service unto the spiritual master. And upadakshanti te gnanam gnaninas tattvadarshina. Then the transcendental knowledge is imparted to the disciple. It is not just like, as Srila Prabhupada writes here, receiving transcendental knowledge is not just like exchanging dollars. Or it is also said, there is some expectation, the imagination, that if you go to Guru, like a Shaktipat means some electrification is happening. The Guru touches the disciple and oh, something is happening here. It's not like that. Some knowledge is transmitting from his hand, is going directly to his heart. No, it's not like that. So when the disciple, he hears from the spiritual master. Hearing means not just sitting and hearing. That anyway we have to do. Hear from the spirit. Hearing means follow his instructions, follow his footsteps. That is hearing actually. So we can see in the material world, foolish people, less intelligent people, they go to these bogus gurus without any knowledge, without any basic knowledge. Who is actually a guru? Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Shri Shri Gaunitai ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So they simply visit for some material gain. They want some material gain, or they want some success in their life, so-called success in their life. Sometimes people, they come here, or we may have experience on the when we are distributing books. People come, immediately they give their hand, Swami, batao, kya hai haath mein? Please tell me what is my future, or how much, how I will be in this life. So the understanding of this people is that, general mass of people is that there is some material gain. If you approach a sadhu or a guru, they will give some blessings, and if I give some money to him, then it's done, job is done. It is like you scratch my back, I will scratch your back, and we are satisfied. It's not like that. That is not the qualification. That is not the understanding of a guru and a disciple. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we came to understand that what is actually a spiritual master, who is actually a guru, and how the Guru Parampara is connected directly to Brahma, and Brahma directly to the Lord himself. As we can see in the Bhagavad Gita, the picture of the Guru Shishya Parampara is there, no? Krishna, Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Madhvacharya, in the line of Madhvacharya, then Madhavendra Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Goswamis, then our Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, then who comes? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada. And it continues. The parampara continues. It will not stop there. It will not stop there. It will continue. It is like, for example, if you take, there one person came actually to the stall. He was saying that their family business was to run a tiffin center. So recently, his father passed away. 30 years they ran the tiffin center. So he came here. He gave some donation. They asked about him, what he does. He said, we have a business of 30 years. 30 years ago. So now what you are going to do? Now we are going to hire a big place, and we are going to make it more bigger. I am continuing the business. So it's a continuation. Even in a common understanding, it's a mundane understanding that the son continues the same thing. Because it's a successful business. 30 years they are running, so it continues. So similarly, the why not the Guru Shishya Parampara in the spiritual line, which is very pure, which is very perfect, which is bona fide. Now why it just stops just till Prabhupada? It continues. As Srila Prabhupada writes here, that one who is now the disciple is the next spiritual master, and one cannot be a bona fide and authorized spiritual master unless one has been strictly obedient to his spiritual master. So unless one is obedient, unless one follows, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitite Koreyaika. So unless one follows the footsteps of the spiritual master, we have to take it as heart and soul. We have to take it as a goal, life's goal, the instruction of the spiritual master. Just like Srila Prabhupada, he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the year 1922, isn't it? And once he met, immediately he got the instruction from his spiritual master that to go and preach the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message, the Western countries in English. But Srila Prabhupada, he waited for 30 years. It was in his heart. He carried this instruction in his heart. And in 1965, he got the opportunity. He has renounced. It was the correct time for him to, at the age of 69, Srila Prabhupada, he went to the Western countries. And we know how he established the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. ISKCON officially was registered in 1966, International Society for Krishna Consciousness in New York. And like that, Srila Prabhupada is spread everywhere. So that's how the disciple carries. Srila Prabhupada himself, he showed us how to, the Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittite Koreyaika. He showed us that how to take the instruction of the spiritual master to one's goal of life. So we are also having the same instruction that Srila Prabhupada has given instructions. Personal instructions are there, common instructions are there to the disciples. So usually common instruction is for everyone, which has to be taken till the end of our life. That is following 4 regulative principles, chanting 16 rounds minimum, and following the morning program, associating with devotees, hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So all our activities, this is common instruction. Also, when we take initiation, we give a vow that we follow the 4 regulative principles and chant 16 rounds. So the personal instruction is personally when the spiritual master sees the qualification of the disciple, that when he is very sincere, just like Narada, Brahma saw him that he is good. He was well behaved, meek and obedient, also self-controlled. So all this qualification was there with Narada. So he was satisfied also with his questions, and now he imparted the knowledge, spiritual knowledge to Narada. So this is how it happens. So when the spiritual master sees the sincerity of the disciple, then he gives his instruction to make him more instrument in the service of the Lord, to make him the important instrument in the service of the Lord. Just like in the management, if you see, if somebody is very well qualified, well equipped with the qualification to be a leader, so he's been given to be a leader, to manage things. And one who is not in such qualification, he is also given service, but not to that extent that he can be a manager and keep going on, be as a leader. So according to one's qualification, the seva is given, instructions are given. So once in one of the Shravana Kirtana camp of my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Swami Maharaj. So Maharaj was not pleased when there was a picture of Srila Prabhupada, and the garland was not fresh, it was dried. It was dried. Maharaj saw this, and previously he was speaking about Acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's life. And it was so much relishing, everyone was so much relishing the life of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his teachings, and how he preached the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. So Maharaj was speaking about this topic. And when he saw that Srila Prabhupada's garland was not fresh, he was completely upset. He was completely dissatisfied. Then he stopped speaking anymore about Bhaktivinoda Thakur. No? And he started preaching how to respect our previous acharyas, like Srila Prabhupada. How much respect we should have, because what they have given us, they have given full life to the mission of the Lord. All their life they have given to the establishing the mission of the Lord, and we are not properly treating them. We are just seeing a picture, or we are just seeing a deity. It's not their person. We have to serve them. We have to serve them, and we have to hear from them. Just like when we hear Srila Prabhupada lecture, we feel very personal that he is present here, and that's why we keep a mic, and we keep Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we keep specs. So we feel very personal. So it happened like that. It's an example. So when the spiritual master is not pleased, then the transcendental knowledge is not going to be imparted. But here, Narada Muni, Tushtam Nishamya Pitaram, the great sage Narada also inquired in detail from his father Brahma, the great grandfather of all the universe, after seeing him well satisfied. So Brahma was well satisfied by seeing the inquisitiveness of Narada, by seeing the qualification of Narada. And then now he is going to impart him more, he is going to give more and more. So unless the Guru is satisfied, we cannot, the knowledge is not illuminated, it's not given. Just like the switchboard. Switchboard is connected to the main powerhouse. So Krishna is like a powerhouse, and switchboard is like spiritual master. So when the switchboard is not on, the main is not on, then if you try to put all the switches of the fan, lights, there is no use. The main switch is off. So unless the spiritual master is pleased, unless Krishna and Guru is pleased, then how the transcendental knowledge is illuminated? How the lights and fans will be running, electrified? So spiritual master should be pleased, then only it happens. So it is said then Tat Vigdi, there is a sloka from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Shushusha Shraddha Dhanasya Vāsudeva Kadaruchi Shan Mahat Seva Vipra Punya Tirtha Nisevanat. Serving the great souls awakens real taste for Krishna Katha. So when we serve the Guru with all honor and reverence, then only we can advance in the Krishna consciousness. When we follow, when we hear from him submissively, that is the real qualification of a disciple. And also another point I want to discuss from here is that Srila Prabhupada writes that one who is not self-controlled, specifically in sex life, can become neither a disciple nor a spiritual master. One must have disciplinary training in controlling speaking, anger, the tongue, the mind, the belly, the genitals. So this is the verse, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jivva Vegam, Udarupasta Vegam, Etan Vegan Yo Vishehete Diran, Sarvam Apimam, Prithvim Shishyat. So that is the qualification of a real Guru, who is controlling speaking, anger, tongue, controlling tongue, Jiva Vegam, Manasa Vegam, Uddhara Vegam, and Upasta Vegam. So both the disciple as well as Guru should have such qualification, as Srila Prabhupada writes here. If they don't have, then they are not a disciple, they are not a spiritual master. Guru na shasyat, sajano na shasyat, pita na shasyat, janani na shasyat, daivam na tasyan, napatasya cha sasyan, namocha yadya samupeta mrityum. It is said by Vyasadeva that Guru or Nashatya, don't become spiritual master. No, if you cannot guide your dependents to samupeta mrityu, from the cycle of take out from them this cycle of birth and death. No, we should not become a guru, we should not become a swajana, pita, father. No, we should not become father, we should not become a Daivam, unless if you are not qualified to take your disciple dependence from the cycle of birth and death. So that is the qualification of the real guru. So it is not that just by seeing their external qualification, one should accept the guru. No. Sometimes it happens, just because of guru is doing some nice jokes or some nice appearance or external qualification. What I mean is that external qualification, or he does a nice kirtan. So that is not the qualification of the guru. The real qualification of guru is that he is just like in the sloka it is mentioned, vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jiva vegam, and who is giving the teachings of the previous acharyas, without any deviation. So that is the real qualification of the real spiritual. So there is no any deviation when he speaks. No, he speaks as it is, what Srila Prabhupada has said. So that is the real qualification of the bona fide guru. So disciple have to also be qualified to understand such a bona fide spiritual master. He should also be controlling speaking. It means that he should be in the pure state to understand who is the pure spiritual master, who can take me out of this material world. Who can take me out of this material world. I came into one sloka from Brahma Vaivarta Purana, very interesting sloka. I will just read out for you about who is a guru. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So it is said here that the spiritual master is one who bestows the mantra of Lord Vishnu and devotional service unto him. The spiritual master is one who bestows knowledge, and knowledge that inculcates unwavering love for Lord Sri Krishna. Because what knowledge can be expected from those of the whole world, starting from here till the planet of Lord Brahma, including living and non-living, who themselves become visible and invisible by the supreme will of the Lord. Therefore, the essence of the Vedas and the yogic practices is to serve the Supreme Lord. That is also the essence of the absolute truth, and apart from Lord Hari is irony or illusion only. So without the knowledge of the Lord, if the Guru is not imparting the knowledge of Krishna, then he is not Guru at all. We may be a very expert in speaking, good, nice things, which people can hear, and which they feel very nice when they hear. It means that materially, like for their mental satisfaction, because they are in some trouble. So if you speak some good words, nice words, we feel nice. So you may be such a speaker, but if you are not giving them Krishna, if you are not giving them the knowledge of devotional service to the Lord, then no use of being a so expert speaker. No, you may have a good qualification, but that qualification, if you are not giving Krishna, if the spiritual master is not giving Krishna, if the representative is not giving the knowledge of the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, then what is the purpose then of speaking, of becoming famous? And unless we tell the truth, spiritual master is, Guru means one who is heavy and one who gives heavy knowledge, one who cuts the ignorance of the disciple. That is the real Guru. So if that is not happening, then what is the use? Venkateshwara. Venkata means Ven means sin, and Kat means one who cuts. So who can give this knowledge about Venkateshwara? Only the bona fide spiritual master who understands the Lord, who knows the Lord. Only he can give. So these are some illuminations from this verse. If you have any questions, comments, please answer. Still we have 10 minutes. It's a huge topic actually. Speaking about Guru and disciple is not so easy subject. Any? Okay, we will sing some Vaishnava bhajan about spiritual master. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ये दासे तृणा पे कातिहीना गुरुदेव गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो दासे तृणा पे कातिहीना सकल सहने बल दिया करो निज माने स्पृहहीना सकल समान कोरीते सकति देहो नात जात जाता सकले समान कोरीते सकति देहो नात जाता जाता तब तो गायब हरि नाम सुके अपराध हबे हता कभी है नो कृपालो भी आए जना कृतार्थ होइबे नाथ कबेनो कबेनो कृपालो बियाय जन कृतार्थ होई बेनाता शक्ति बुद्धिहीनम् अनियति दीन करो मोर आत्मसात शक्ति बुद्धिहीन नियति दीन करो मोर आत्मसात যোগ্যত বিচারে কিছু নাহি পাই তোমার করুণা সারা যোগ্যতা করুণা না হইলে কান্দিয়া কান্দিয়া প্রাণ না রাখিব আরা করুণা না হইলে কান্দিয়া কান্দিয়া প্রাণ না রাখিব আরা गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया परोदासे प्रेमा पे का पीरेगा गुरुदेव We'll read the translation.
Gurudev, give to this servant just one drop of mercy. I am lower than a blade of grass. Give me all help. Give me strength. Let me be as you are, without desires or aspirations.
I offer you all respects, for thus I may have the energy to know you correctly. Then, by chanting the holy name in great ecstasy, all my offenses will cease.
When will such mercy fall? No, fall. When will such mercy fall to this one who is weak and devoid of intelligence? Allow me to be with you.
If you examine me, you will find no qualities. Your mercy is all that I am made of. If you are not merciful unto me, I can only weep, and I'll not be able to maintain my life.
जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय।
His Grace Radhanath Krishna
श्रील
Prabhu
प्रभुपाद की जय।